The day's defense work was beginning. Uphill from the termites, a butterfly split the hard outer coat of her chrysalis and poked a foot into the warm, damp air. She had no name. Not far from her, the elegant great kiskadee whistled two melodious notes, flew out, caught a moth, and flew back to his perch. The treetop birds awoke and flashed their brightly colored feathers. Yellow orioles, blue and yellow tanagers, and green, blue, black, and red tanagers preened their wings and flew. Purple honey creepers, blue fruit eaters, iridescent hummingbirds, and multicolored toucans and wood warblers flew through the top limbs of the forest. A scarlet macaw hooked her beak on a vine and pulled herself abreast of her last year's nest. She looked into a dark, deep hole in the tallest tree in the tropical rainforest of the macaw. Spring was coming, and it was time to clean her nest. The big parrot was mostly red. Her lower back and outer tail feathers were bright blue. Yellow feathers tipped with green gleamed on her wings. She opened them. They spread 3 feet from tip to tip. When she flew, she looked like a fiery meteor. Below her, a flock of orange-winged parrots began to chatter. A pair of blue and green parakeets touched beaks in a bower of silver webbing. It had been spun during the night by a busy spider. Like millions of other webs draped through the forest, this one sparkled with raindrops. The mate of the scarlet macaw called to her, and she joined him on the flight to the cashew trees along the Orinoco River. 30 other macaws joined them, streaking the sky red as they flew off to eat. Above the macaw nest hole, a 3-toed sloth hung on the underside of a branch. A baby clung to her chest. He poked his head out of her fur, on which moss-like algae grew. The baby snorted. His eyes were large and scrunched close to his nose and mouth. The fuzzy infant's face looked very much like a turtle's. The mother was an apartment house. In her long fur lived not only plants, but some 90 little creatures. Among the tenants were pretty sloth moths, glossy beetles, and numerous pink or white mites. None could survive anywhere but on a sloth in a tropical rainforest. They were stirring. This was a big day for the tenants. The sloth was going to make her weekly trip to the floor of the forest, and they, of course, were going with her. In another tree, a little capuchin monkey, who was almost a year old, unwrapped her tail from around a limb and wrapped it around her mother, who rubbed her own tummy and yawned. Ahead of Tepui in the science laboratory of the tropical rainforest, a lanky scientist swung out of his hammock and stretched. Dr. Juan Rivero was one of 5 biologists who were studying the plants and animals of the forest before it was destroyed. This day, the 21st day of January, was doomsday for the tropical rainforest of the macaw. 11 bulldozers and 4 trucks carrying 20 chain sawyers were rumbling along. For days they had been moving down the highway from the city of Caracas on the hills above the Gulf of Mexico. The ominous caravan was headed for the state of Monagas and Tepui's tropical rainforest. Its mission was to cut down and burn the vines, flowers, and trees, and to ready the land for crops. The forest was home to millions of species of wild plants and animals. Many had never been seen by human eyes. The tangle of plants hid unknown creatures in the bracts and corollas of flowers, in the shelter of hollow and twisted stems, and under the curls of bark and leaf buds. For their part, the animals hid unknown plants in dens and nests, and even in their fur. Although the tropical rainforests of the world lie only between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, they are vital to the health of the entire